I want you to get
most controversial bat.
season 15.
Started right when I was 5.
We on this side, nigga. What's up? Pull up.
You think you can make a hook? I'm like, hell yeah.
Ham Radio. We're here with another legend.
Hello.
Yeah,
And his name's Adam Goes Ham. Hi, fellas. We're also here with Nedarb. Hello, Also a legend. mate. Hello.
How are you doing, Dad?
I'm great.
How's your morning going?
So good. Like I said earlier, had a fire, chicken Caesar club, wrap type From thing. where? Tribal Cafe.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. Who'd you go? But you went by yourself? By myself,
Did you get-
always.
did you Whoa, are you a solo writer?
Huh?
Did you get a smoothie as well?
Nope, no smoothie today. Just a yerba mate and a water.
Ooh.
It's my classic.
Damn, yerba mate. That's the one
That
with
shit's
the
fire.
with the straw, right?
I don't think so.
The metal straw, isn't it? No.
They don't give me that.
What am I thinking of? It's like a...
You're thinking of like traditional yerba mate that you get in South America, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always come like that.
I don't know that. Okay, so when I got my DUI when I was like 22, my DUI class.
Long time ago.
There was a dude who would come at every class with one of those fucking little cup things in the straw.
No,
And I'd be like, "You're an asshole. Like, why would you?"
It just looks like a Snapple bottle.
It's unnecessary, right?
I used to make my own yerba mate in a French press, like how you would coffee.
Urban mate?
Yerba mate. So it was like
What is it?
so it was super.
What would an urban latte be? Or
Anyways,
latte?
Urban
when you make it in a
latte.
coffee press, it's like mad strong.
Yeah.
Cause that shit is strong.
Strong,
I heard
man.
that people in Brazil where they have it, sometimes they end up getting like fucking ulcer and stomach issues because they drink so much yerba mate there. Because there's a lot of caffeine, dude, more than coffee.
Really?
Yep.
But that's what I did this morning.
You said Horsehead used to do shows there.
Yeah.
Like
In
what?
his old band,
What
$10, I think.
$10?
What kind of
Yeah,
music was
that's
$10?
It was like shoegazy shit.
Well, that's
It was
cool.
tight. It's really good.
Is he still friends with any of the dudes that ran it?
He said he still like talks to one of them, I think, but I think he said they all like, I don't know, they kind of lost touch, I guess, but they were all from OC. And
Would he sing?
go look it up, $10.bandcamp.com.
Would he sing? Would he sing on it, or did he play instruments?
He sang and played guitar. It was like a 3 or 4 piece or something like
So
that.
what would you say Horsehead's music on?
By the way, before we
Interview.
start, congratulations. You're
thank
you're a
you.
father to be.
Yes.
What is the thing that you're what is the registry? Is that what it's called? What's
Yeah.
the tightest thing on there?
Or the thing that you want the most?
Yeah.
The strollers, because they're expensive,
The
is what I
stroller?
want the most. But like
Has no one
all
got-
the shit I want is like that I put on there is kind of dumb for me to put already because it's stuff he can't use until he's like 2 or 3 like little baby instruments and shit like that. 'Cause he's not even gonna be able to like hold anything
Yeah.
for mad long. But like somebody already bought like a xylophone and I was like playing it and shit.
So you're just
Sorry.
gonna end up using all.
I'm
of
just
the
gonna
choreo.
use it for sure.
Prior to this, did you have aspirations of fatherhood? Did you
No.
want to be a dad at all?
I mean, I'd want it to be eventually, but I had no idea I would like about to be a dad.
Are you
like,
nervous?
now. Yeah, but I'm more like excited now. Like once you just like are like, okay, it's happening. It's
Yeah.
like no point in being nervous.
This is kind of fucked up to think about, but I feel like if crackheads can raise children, not properly, but like raise kids that
If a
like.
crackhead can
Well, I'm
raise a
just
kid.
yeah. I mean, think
I mean,
about
you
it.
could definitely
you could
do it.
definitely raise.
But here's the
you know what I'm
thing:
saying?
is
It's like-
even good parents fuck up their kids?
there's no way. Yeah, yeah.
Almost every like thing that is wrong with us is trauma that we have from being raised, even if our parents were good parents. So there's no way you're not gonna fuck this kid up.
I'll be good. I hope.
What do you?
Because my parents were good too, but I'm pretty fucked up.
Yeah. we all are.
Here's a question. Would you be bummed if I got in a conversation the other day with someone and they were like, okay, if your kid in high school ended up being like a super fucking gutter punk, like disgusting smelling,
sick.
so you would be down?
No. I don't care what he does. I mean,
there's a good
Like,
chance-
a gutter punk, like a crust punk.
Yeah.
Fuck no. I hate crust punks.
Well, there's a good chance he's gonna be the opposite of you. He's gonna be into sports.
I was into sports.
Oh, you were
Yeah, I played hella sports.
in high school?
I played hockey, baseball,
Canada, the six, it's all
soccer.
hockey.
I played everything. If I wasn't doing music, I probably would have been in the NHL. I was really good at hockey.
When did you first
Really?
start playing
I
sports?
was
I
so
didn't know
good.
that.
When I was like 4. I think I knew how to skate like before I could like really do most things. Like,
Did you have a rollerblade?
Yeah, I was in inline hockey too.
Do you know what the
I was a
hardest
goalie.
part of being a rollerblader is?
Don't do
Stopping.
that stupid joke.
Stopping. That's what it was.
Not even a
'cause it's
joke.
So
Huh?
It's not even a joke.
no, he was gonna do this.
Oh.
He was gonna do like.
I wasn't gonna
homophobic
finish
joke.
it because you can't say that kind of joke anymore. Times have changed.
Anyways, what
I'll
got
tell
you,
you
into
afterwards.
skating and doing sports when you were so young? You had an older brother, or was your dad?
Because
into
in
it, or-
Canada, it's just like religion.
Standard, right?
Yeah, like everybody plays hockey.
So what's the deal? Okay, what's the Jerry? What's the deal with the fighting in hockey? Like, what it is just like totally.
What's the deal?
Yeah, what's the deal? Like, why can you fight there and not anywhere else? Like, do they not?
You can't like fight and not get a penalty though, or like get suspended.
But they like let you fight it out though, right? They don't
Yeah,
like
fuck
stop it.
It's
That's
just, like,
crazy.
it's just a part of it. You
Were you-
can't do it in women's leagues though, which is
That's
stupid.
fucked up, right?
Yeah, and you can't like body check in women's hockey. But I had the most penalty minutes on my team when I was like a freshman.
Were you an enforcer?
Yeah, and what's
Wow.
crazy is I'm not like violent at all anymore.
Yeah.
But I was like,
But hockey bring it
I would
out
be
of you.
yeah, I like gotten like I would always get in fights and shit. And then I broke my collarbone, and then I was like, "Fuck this shit."
When did you move out of Canada?
When I was in 5th grade, we
When you
moved
guys
to the
moved to
States.
New Hampshire.
We moved to Lake Placid, New York, and I was there for a year. And then my dad's boss at his job in Lake Placid, his dad's boss's son was a coach at Dartmouth, like the women's hockey team. So then after a year, we moved to New Hampshire.
All right,
then
and
I
then
was
so
there for
how old
that
were you
long.
when you moved to New Hampshire?
I don't know I forget how old you are in 6th grade, but I was like in 6th grade.
When did music become part of your life?
Since I was like a toddler, because my uncle Liam, shout out to him. He was like a metalhead. He still is. Like my middle name is Liam, but I remember he gave me a drum set when I was like probably 5 or 6, and I would just fuck around on that like in the basement of our house and in Medicine Hat, Alberta. But he gave me a drum set, and even before that, I would like set up like pots and pans and shit and like make my own
Right.
drum set. Like there's a picture of me mad young with like a keyboard in front of me and like the only real drum I had was like a floor tom.
Sick.
And then the rest were like pots and pans. And then I just like fucked around, and then when I was like in fucking 7th grade 7th grade, I taught myself I didn't teach myself guitar. I bought a bass, or I got a bass. I didn't buy it for like Christmas. And I'd fuck around on that, and then I taught myself guitar after that, and then
When you got the bass in 7th grade, what were you listening to? Like, why did you want to play bass?
I was listening to like Fall Out Boy and like From First to Last. And
So you
Census
wanted
Hill
to
and
do that
shit.
kind of music? Like, I
Yeah,
want to play bass and like
that's still what I do when I
band.
play that. Yeah, like Blink and shit like that. I remember I started the first band I had. It was called Sputnik, and it was with my friends Devin and Dan. Shout out to them. And none of us knew how to play any of the instruments yet. We just like bought them, and Devin could like vaguely play guitar, and we were just trash, and we just all play at the same time.
That's
But like it was sick.
At what
Real punk
point-
shit.
True. At what point did music take a precedence over sports?
Well, I mean, like when I got to college, I was like, I told my parents I didn't want to play like college hockey, and they were like kind of bummed about it or whatever. But I was like,
Did you have like a scholarship or anything, or?
Nah, that's why I also didn't want to play it in college. I did when I like got recruited to go to this place called Hebron Academy when I was a sophomore in high school to play. It was like a prep school, like a boarding school. But when I got there, they like threw me on JV because they'd be telling kids that like you could be on the varsity team, and then they just like take your money and then not put you on.
Sucks.
But like after that, I went back to my public school, and then I just fucking I don't know. I just eventually got over it. After I broke my collarbone, I was like, I still played, but I just didn't care that much. And then like when I was in college, I was like, I'm just gonna do this music shit.
And what was the music shit you wanted to do at that point?
Well, I like rapped, but I knew it would never go anywhere for real. So I was like, I wanted to get into like managing and like booking and shit, and that's when I like met Milo.
You guys were roommates, right?
No,
No?
we just we were like eventually, but at first we were just like we went to the same college in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we met like on a Facebook like group like St. Norbert College like class of 2014 like.
How'd you just
And
connect
he had-
on there?
Cause like you would just lurk around and see like who's from where, and he like at one point lived in New Hampshire, like he lived in Manchester at one point in his life. So he was like, "Oh shit, you're from New Hampshire too," and I was like, "Yeah," and then we both liked the same like '90s rap, like Tribe and shit.
Is that what you were into at that point? You liked a conscious East Coast rap?
Yeah, like after I graduated high school, I had this huge like '90s phase.
I feel like
Big
everyone's
Al and De La
like
Soul and
freshman year of college. It's all like
Yeah,
tribe and
it's-
everything.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
very funny.
And then I just wanted to like do shit with him, so I started like being his fake little booking agent. Like
Was
made a
m-
fake email and just hit up venues and promoters.
Was Milo into underground rap yet, or he only liked?
Well, at that point, it was like the Das Racist era, I guess, and like all those type of people.
Right.
Hipster rap.
Yeah, like hipster. That was like probably
Ninja
the,
Sonic.
like he liked that type of shit.
'Cause
But before
he
that, there
kinda-
wasn't that much like underground shit. Well, no, underground like
Do you know who's from New Hampshire?
was like Rhyme Sayers considered underground?
Yeah, for sure.
And you
I'm
know
pretty
who's
sure
from,
he
you know
likes
who's from New
some-
Hampshire. That's from that same similar circle. Do you ever listen to Adam ADM?
Oh no.
He was just like this white battle rap. He was like he won Scribble Jam 2 years. But he was from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of rappers from New Hampshire.
I don't think he liked Rhyme Sayers. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
Did
but
Bus Driver take him under his wing? Is that what
It
happened?
was Open Mike Eagle who like
Okay.
did.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because what label is he on? Hellfire.
They were Hellfire.
They were on
yeah.
Hellfire.
Yeah.
So
And that was his like favorite rapper at the time was Open Mike Eagle.
Oh,
at that point in college, you had kind of put emo music and stuff in the backseat, and you wanted to do hip
Yeah.
hop.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you were rapping, then what were you rapping like? Not the way you rap now.
No, it was it was like
Boom
me
bap.
rapping over like Dead President's Instrumental by like Jay-Z, but it was like corny. I, had
I
nothing,
wanna hear
I
that
had
so
nothing to
fucking
rap
bad.
about because it was like I have it still. It was
Wait, can
just
you please email me that? That's
I don't have it
hilarious.
on. I would have to like go charge an old ass computer, and I'm not emailing it to anybody ever.
That's
But I had like nothing really to rap about.
Give
I
us a
was-
bar. Give us a bar.
Do you remember any of the lyrics from the first song?
I don't remember those lyrics. No, it was so long ago. But
Interesting.
And so you were like,
I was just fucking around. Like I didn't ever think I would take that shit serious. But then I just did more shit with Rory, Milo, and then I saw like you could make like a living out of just like being an independent artist or whatever.
So
And
at
then-
what point did you decide, because you wanted to be a booker, you wanted to be a manager, you wanted to be on that side of it. So at what point did you jump back into the creative side?
Well, literally all throughout, like I said, I was like making vocal stuff, but it just wasn't like I had no fans for like fucking 6 years. Like I would just put shit out and like nobody would care. And then, so I just like stopped and I was kind of just like, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? Like I didn't drop out of school. I just like stopped going to college.
Let's dropped out.
And I was just like, fuck it. I don't know what I'm doing. This is all when I was in Wisconsin. And then, I don't know. I had a friend. I had always wanted to make beats. And I made beats when I was in high school on GarageBand that were like hyphy type beats, like the Pack and shit, like Bay Area beats. And like crunk beats on Garage. They sucked ass. But I had a friend. His name was Hitman. My friend Ian. When I lived in Madison, he was a really poppin' like local producer and DJ, and that's when like cloud rap like came out and shit, like Main Attractions and Clams and early like ASAP and
That's
Space
literally,
Ghost
to
Purple
me, that's
shit.
the beginning of like all the shit now.
yeah, that's like my favorite era of underground shit. And
Main Attractions is so slept on and underrated when it comes to their influence.
They're insane. Shout out to Squatta and Madre.
You know,
Quick
they're-
side note: Squatta B was the first person to ever ask me for a beat, aside
Really?
from like my
Really?
local friends. We still haven't done anything. I think we did like one song that he was a feature on, maybe. But
People
yeah, he
forgot
was the
they were
first
even down with ASAP.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a picture of like Mac Miller and Main Attractions, Space Ghost Perp and ASAP.
Oh wow.
I saw
Rest
that
in
picture going
peace,
around
Mac
right now.
Miller. So
Rest in
sad.
peace.
But anyways, fucking what was I saying?
Cloud
So I had a
beats.
friend who was a producer and he could make like any type of beat, and he was like the illest like just hip hop dude I knew. Like he knew how to scratch and like make beats on like hardware, normal software without anything. And I was like, well, I have a MacBook. He's like, well, let me just fucking. I was like, I always thought you had to buy like physical
Like an
shit to
MPC or
make
something,
beats. Like I never knew like what you needed. And he was like, just let me like get you Ableton. I'll crack it. I'll give you like one drum kit and like one VST, and it was like massive. And then he
dope.
gave me like this drum kit, like a 1017 like Brick Squad
Yeah,
kit
yeah.
or something like that.
Had the
And he just showed me how to like. He was like, there's this artist named Juliana Barwick, who I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but she like makes like really tight like ambient atmospheric vocal shit where she just like will sing like a melody and then use a loop pedal and like sing over it and just create these like amazing soundscapes.
I know people like it.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know her, but I know like.
yeah, like groupers kind of like
Exactly.
that too. But I was like, I want to make cloud rap beats, and he was like, word, this is exactly how you do it. He just showed me how to like loop something in Ableton and just like add some trap drums on it.
Yeah.
And then I still make beats the exact same way as I do that. Yeah. But yeah, he taught me, and
You
then
turn
from
around
there,
beats pretty fast, right?
yeah,
I feel
like super quick.
like what's like in a day? How many do you usually make?
Oh,
if
I
you're
don't-
like really grinding it out.
I mean, I don't know. I go weeks without making shit, but if I make something, I'll make like at most maybe like 3 or 4 a day.
Yeah.
I don't I'm
how
not
does
like
he-
no fucking crazy ass.
How does it usually start?
Like, just samples, or like if I have a melody like in my head or something.
So either it's a melody and you play out the melody, or you
Yeah.
like listen to something. You're like, oh,
If I listen to something ever, like just like on Apple Music or come across something on YouTube on my phone or something, I'll just screenshot it now and then like right where the minute mark is, and then I'll like be like, I'll go home and I'll be like, oh, I remember I have like a sample to go pick from or something like that. But
Is it harder because you started off sampling, right?
yeah,
And like now you're at a level where like you got to clear shit.
I don't
and-
know. Like I still sample all the time, and I've only ever gotten like, I haven't even gotten fucked really ever,
Really?
because I know to like, you just have to really just fucking fuck with them a lot. Like
So it's
producers
like-
are idiots. I've never had a song taken off of SoundCloud ever.
But I
Or
mean,
YouTube
there's some
or
stuff that
anything.
you've done, like the fucking the Death Cab loop. Like that's just
No, the Postal Service.
oh,
one?
Postal Service. Yeah, I mean that's like
Yeah, but it's
How
still
is that-
pitched and tempo's different. So when like they have whatever scanners they use to find shit,
They
nobody's-
never. Wow.
Yeah, it's still on SoundCloud. Like usually it would take it off.
But can you put that on
And that's-
Spotify?
I don't know. It probably is on Spotify.
That's
I'm
crazy.
I mean, it's
Sure,
on
it's
it's
on
on
Spotify.
YouTube,
Yeah.
and there's ads on the video.
Yeah.
And
So-
Is it harder?
come for me, Postal Service.
Is
I
it
don't
is
care.
it harder to
he has a
produce?
show coming up.
Huh?
He has a show coming up as Death
Really?
Cab,
Oh shit.
Is it?
That's the same person?
Ben,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had
So
no
let's
idea.
hear it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna-
It's called
the singer
Postal
of-
Service because him and then I forgot the other producer's
Dentel.
name. They lived,
Dentel, who makes like cool ass beats.
I had
they
no
lived
idea.
in-
So it's
That makes
Dentel with the
sense.
singer of
Yeah,
Death
I'm
Cab.
and they
an
would
idiot.
email each other songs.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I call it Postal Service.
Yeah, that's sick.
Is it harder?
The last song on that Postal Service album is like a drum and bass song. It's really dope.
Yeah.
So random.
very very ahead of its time.
Wait, I have a question. Or do you have one?
Well, I just wanted to ask because now I feel like you kind of mentioned it earlier where you're making stuff where it's more original like music. Is that harder? Because you're essentially creating the vibe completely as opposed to a sample. You're like, oh, I kind of feel something in this. You know what I mean?
I think I've always done half and half though.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I've realized, like, he also showed me, like, I don't use the stock Ableton sounds that much anymore, but there's like hella shit on there, like synths and shit. I always kind of like learned. He just showed me how to sample and showed me how to use those.
Yeah.
I've kind of always done half and half, and yeah, people are saying to me like, you got to use more original shit, whatever the fuck. But yeah, whatever. I'll just continue to. I just know how to flip samples better now and not be so obvious about it.
That's tight.
So
Like-
at what point, my question, did it go from making cloud rap?
That
wanting-
sounded cocky.
Yeah.
My question.
This one's mine. So
from making cloud rap type of beats to going into like the more emo-ish or the beginning of Thrax House. When
I
did
love
like
Thrax.
when did the transition happen?
This is his question, by the way. So
Yeah, so at the start it was mainly like all cloud rappy type shit. For like if you go on my Bandcamp, the first like million there's like 40 or 50 albums on there, and the first like maybe 8 of them, they're all kind of like synthy, like kind of like witchy type, like cloud rappy shit.
Because now there's like an entire scene. I like to call it post emo,
Yeah,
and it's all based off of a sound that you kind of started. Yeah.
I think that's fair. I've never admitted that, but I think it's kind of fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just like I sampled this like Silverstein song, like Giving Up. and
That was
it
for
just-
a horse head.
It was the numb song, and yeah, and then after that, people just started doing that type of shit. I guess.
Right. I mean, it made sense because like your background comes from emo, so now it's like your chance to mix in these two things you like.
Yeah,
And I think that's why
it
even
made sense.
that's why even someone like me, was drawn to it because it's like I'm the same thing. I grew up a hip hop head, but I also like emo music. So when I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, it's like
this
a cool
sample,
mix,
you
yeah.
know. So this is what year was that?
2014.
2014. So how would you? So Horsehead was already in Thrax.
No, I was. It was like, I was the first person out because it started in Seattle. It was like Kinada and MacNed, and then this dude
Out of the ashes of Raider Clan.
Yeah, and
That
then,
was one of the many crews.
Yeah, right, from Key or whatever and MacNed, and like basically it was like a group of I think like 6 rappers at that point. It was like them, Sneak Guapo, Baby Sun, and like a few other people like Dizzy Slick and shit. And then I just remember I was talking to, I don't remember how I met MacNed or Key online or some shit, but I just sent this beat to MacNed. It was called Roswell. Or that's what the song was called when it was done, and like it was a really witch housey type like trap beat, and that's like this shit they were making was like witch house rap, and it was super fucking tight. And they were just like, "You're in Thrax House." That's how they would always add people. They would just like tell you, and I was like,
They wouldn't even ask. They
would just be like, "You're in Thrax," and I was like, "Okay." Well, they would ask, but like,
how many people? There was a big ass crew, right?
that's why I left eventually because it just got it was like too much. But it was really tight. Like when I was,
I mean, I think Thrax House. Like a lot of the probably like your newer fans, like fans that came around with Peep, I don't think they know how important Thrax House is.
No, they don't. It was also a short period, but like it was tight. It was really like grimy, like dark shit. Like it was more rappy, but then we would have like Wicca and Horse and Coldie. But basically, like, so they added me, and I was already gonna move to LA. So then I moved to LA, and I was kind of like the Thrax House like LA representative dude. And then there was this kid named Malcolm who was from Seattle who moved to LA, and he was like he did like designs and shit for like shirts, and he helped with videos and stuff like that and album art. And then so it was just us in Thrax House in LA, just like me and Malcolm. Well, basically I met Horace because I was a fan of his shit, and I just hit him up. I was like just some random kid, like hitting him up like, "Hey, I'm moving to LA." That happens to me all the time now, and I'll probably never hang out with the kids who like hit me up because it's just like, why would I do that? But this was like, I feel like this was before like mad people would move here all the time.
Was Horse
like,
already affiliated with Thrax House at that point?
No, he was just him.
Was Horse the first GBC person to be on Thrax?
Yeah, but I don't think he wasn't even GBC then either.
Well, because how I remember GBC, because I knew Thrax. We had Thrax even play our South by Southwest showcase, so I knew about Thrax. And then Horsehead was on Thrax, and then so was Tracy early on, right?
Yeah, he was in it. But like I met Horace or whatever, hung out with him, and then when MacNed and Key came down to LA to like visit me in my crib in like Boyle Heights or whatever where I was living, they met Horace, and they liked his music, so they're like, "You want to be a part of it?" He's like, "Word." And then I was already doing shit with Cold Heart when I lived in Wisconsin, and because he's been Cold Heart forever and J.I., and there was like a tape we made called Revenge where I produced it all and he sang on it. And then I moved to L.A., and then I was like, I want to link with Coldie when I was with Horace. So we drove down to Long Beach and like picked him up, and then that's when they met. And then when Key and MacNed came, they added Cold Heart. And then Coldie at that point was already working with Wicca, doing shit.
Yeah, because Wicca reached out to him via Tumblr.
They met through Tumblr. Yeah, and they were already
because then Wicca became part of Thrax as well.
Yeah,
and then because
that wasn't through me though. That was through like Ned or Key or something like that.
Because then so I knew about Thrax, but then I would see at like the ham parties, Horsehead would wear a shirt that said Goth Boy Click.
Yeah,
and like old English letters.
Yeah,
but I don't think it was a thing yet. Was it?
No, it was a thing. It just like it was a thing when like Wicca got added to Thrax, and then him and Coldie already like had it because they would say it in songs, and then they were like they put like Chris and Tracy, and it was when Tracy was like young bruh, but it wasn't like a set in stone thing. It was just kind of like a subgroup of
it was like a subgroup of Thrax, and I would see Chris wear the shirt, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And even then I didn't like get the music yet, because I remember I was like I had Horse DJ I
remember that shit.
And then I like looked up his music, and I was like, oh, this is really dope. It's like, the acoustic emo rap thing, and the crowd looked cool. But I was like, at the time, Ham was like very turnt and twerky, and I was like, it's not gonna work at Ham. But I did appreciate it. And then how did it just grow? Because like it
was just like when like I think when Thrax House started like dying down a little bit, like people like I had left, and then I think Tracy had left, and then I think Key left, and then it just kind of was like crumbling out. Like, whatever, shit happens when there's like groups of a million people. But then it was just like, okay, what's left from this? It was like GBC is the main thing that's left, and then like they just like fucking, you know, solidified it and like created like their sound or whatever the fuck. Like it was like one of the first like most like GBC sounding type tapes was like the Horsehead Romantic tape. And I think that was like one of the first. It was released through the Thrax House Bandcamp, but that was like the first like, okay, GBC. This is what GBC music sounds like. It's like all sample old emo-y shit. And like now like Fish and Yawns, they don't like sample at all. They just like play guitar and shit like that.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's super tight.
Here's my theory. You started the wave by sampling doing emo samples.
Yeah.
And then that made this like new age of rap kids be like, oh, I know that sample. This is like reminiscent of middle school.
Yeah.
And it made them like it. And then it made them open for it to become even more emo-ish.
Yeah.
And now they're like, now they're open
insane.
to it. So now you could like, now Fishnark, for example, could play his own guitar samples. And they're like, oh, I dig it because it just reminds me of the other GBC stuff. So I think pretty soon the next step is going to be instruments live.
No, yeah, definitely. It's just going to
just
all go back to
emo-
being a band
It's
again.
going to turn back into band music, which I'm like here
back in
for.
a band,
Everyone's
and
gonna
then
hate everyone in the
everybody's
band,
gonna break up.
and then they're gonna go
They don't
solo
want to
again.
split money.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel
I'm
like
excited for it.
bands are like. I feel like there's so much ego. I feel like that's why raps like
Okay, there's no ego in rap.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it's just you. Like I remember when we interviewed Wicca, he was just like he just wanted to be by himself, making his own music, and it was so accessible now. And I think that's the cool shit about like this kind of music as opposed to being in a band, because when you're in a band everyone wants to be a lead singer, you know what I mean?
Think it's
like
cool
and
to just like add elements of live instruments.
yeah,
Like-
no, I
like-
agree.
Like
Sometimes I don't
Aaron's-
like that though live with hip hop beats. Sometimes
Right.
I don't.
I mean,
like
I
that
used
shit.
to when I was
But-
like as a hip hop head. Whenever like Atmosphere would play with a live band, I'd be like. Ugh.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think it's dope, like when
But-
Little Aaron has a guitar player, when Ghostman has a
I
drummer.
think it's cool if they're playing shit that's not already in the track. Like drop out the guitar and have a live guitar. But
Yeah.
like 808s, like trying to recreate a 808 on like a normal drum kit, like it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound that
We could
fire.
just play it over, right?
Or I think
You
even
could,
like
but
electric.
then it's just like extra noise, I guess. But it was tight when I was with Ghost and we had Kale.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out to
cool.
See,
Kale.
his music fits perfectly with like a
Yeah,
live
because there's
drummer.
like breakdowns
Yeah.
and like blast beats and shit like that in it. And they're working on their live set even more, where they're like incorporating it more and shit. But yeah.
So with GBC, I'm sure everyone listening wants to hear about Peep stuff. How did Peep first get involved in it?
Cause he like, I got thrown on a song with him when I was like doing vocals, and this song called Apparition Love, and there was like a bunch of people on it, and I'd never heard him. I was like, oh, this shit's tight. But apparently he was already a fan of mine through producing for like Wolf and shit. And I forget if it was him who like DM'd me first or like if I DM'd him or something, but we were just like, all right, let's make a song. And then I sent him the beat for like Lil Kennedy. He got on it, and then I was like, guys, like telling all my friends, like, I found this new kid. He's like, makes shit that's like kind of like us, but it's different. I thought he sounded like, back then I thought he sounded like Jesse Lacey from like Brand New for some reason. I was like,
I mean, you were writing for him super heavy because I remember 2016 or 2015.
I met him in 2015.
Because I remember you
like,
kept
online,
saying,
I met him.
cause you kept saying, you gotta book Lil Peep, you gotta book Lil Peep, and so I booked Lil Peep without listening to him the first time.
Yeah.
And I put him on a show that did not make sense. It was Larry June, Thousand Band Fonnie, and
So
him.
weird. He killed it though. He
Yeah,
did.
and I like didn't listen to him at first. I just like took your word for it because I always do. And I was like, whoa, this is really dope. And he brought out Ghostman, and he brought out I don't know who else he brought out. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy tight. And then I think through that I started talking to him, and then you or him sent me Crybaby before it came out, and I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I think
But-
him doing the emo rap post emo thing is when I finally was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I like fucking made a bunch of shit with him. We did that like California Girls EP or whatever, and then I just like Horace is like my best friend, and I'm always with him, and I was like, check out this dude or whatever. And that's when Peep was like living in Pasadena, and I was living somewhere else, and then I just like moved into their house, and then I was like, Chris, come like meet Peep or whatever the fuck, and came up and like they vibed out, and then Tracy met him next, and then I was like, Wicca, listen to this dude, he's fucking tight. And then apparently after that they just kind of all agreed to like add him. Like I didn't tell them to or anything. Like when he got added, I had no idea that he was about to get added or anything.
Who was all living at that house in Pasadena?
Like a million fucking people, like fucking Pete, Brennan. They had this roommate named Adventure who was mad funny.
Adventure?
He like fucking, he was their friend from San Diego. He used to like, he was like super addicted to tobacco, like more than anybody I've ever met. And he would like hit these things called moles where he would like take a bong and like rip a bong of just tobacco.
That's
it was so funny.
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
It was so gross, but it was that.
Did he chew also?
Probably did everything, but I just remember that. But it was us, and then like Wavy, LaDerrick, fucking Ghost at one point, Jay Green, like a million people. Like there was like it was like a race to see who could like get a couch spot first.
That's funny.
I don't miss it at all. Like I miss like the music and like
Yeah.
how fun it was, but
I could never fraternity house.
Was the
Did that
vibe
happen?
in the Pasadena, like making music, was the vibe in the Pasadena house the same as the Loft, or do you think the Pasadena house?
No, we made more music in Pasadena than the Loft.
Yeah, so that
Loft
felt
was more like
special,
partying
more
and
partying.
shit. Yeah, Pasadena was like strictly music all
Yeah.
the time.
And now you have your own place. How does that
Yeah.
feel to go from
Fucking-
two fraternity fucking homes?
Well, it's 2 fraternity homes, and then I lived with my homegirl Mel for a little bit, and that was even sweet. And then now I just live alone. And
Yeah.
It's fucking perfect.
That's tight. Do you have any
It's
animals?
great. No.
No.
I was gonna adopt a dog, then I was like,
what
I'm
happened
about
with that?
He's having a baby.
Well, the baby
aside
could
from
hang
that,
out with the dog, you know.
Let's
some
do one at a
protection.
time.
well, I'm kind of glad I didn't because like I'm pretty sure like when babies are born, dogs get like jealous and shit or something. I don't fucking know, but
Just attack.
the dog I wanted to adopt like got sick, and then like I couldn't adopt it, and then I was like, it was probably for a reason. Like I'm about to have a whole ass baby.
Plus, you travel a lot, dude.
Yeah, I travel all the time.
Like that'd be hard on the dog. You don't want to just abandon it. I mean, you fucking tour a lot.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? I feel like you're like you mentioned
I like
this earlier,
touring a
stay
lot.
at home. Oh, so you like going out on the
Yeah,
road?
but I'm not touring for like a while now. I'm just gonna like chill for a bit.
Yeah. What was your
'Cause-
favorite tour that you've been on so far?
The first one with Gus, like in Europe in like early 2017.
Those
was
look
really
fucking
tight.
crazy. I remember that was the first time. I mean, because we always knew he was popular, but we didn't.
I didn't know he was
understand.
that big.
Yeah.
I knew like VK is this like social media site in Russia,
Uh-huh.
and like he was bigger on there than in the States. And when we went there, I don't even know if Hellboy was out yet or not. I think it might. Yeah, it was. It just came out. But the first show was like 3,000 kids in
Yeah,
Moscow.
dude,
It
I
was
saw your
bigger than
video
any
and I
shit.
said, "What the fuck?"
that
I was
shit was
like,
crazy.
"Are they opening up for someone?" And then
Nah.
it was like, "Nah, this is like." His
It was
show.
like us and this dude named Pharaoh, who was a really tight Russian rapper.
Oh,
But he's pretty big too. But yeah, it was that one or else the North American one with like Ghost and Wavy. And Chapo was on it a little bit like last year. That was really fun.
tight.
Good
What
times.
was fun about it? The camaraderie, or between
Just
you and
like
the fellas?
joke, like it was
Fucking around.
yeah, just jokes. Like and when Chapo left it, we brought on Horace. It was just, I don't know.
Did you like it better with horse on it? I'm joking.
I mean,
Chapo seems
Chapo's
like he'd be
tight.
really funny.
Chapo
to,
just like listens. He just has headphones on like the whole
But
time.
that has to be nice.
Horace like is like my OG homie.
Right.
That
It has to
we
be nice
joke
with you
all
and
the time.
Horace and Eric. These are all like
Yeah,
really
it's
good
just
friends.
jokes. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
What's next
kidding.
music wise?
I'm making like a Nedarb album right now. It's almost done. On some like DJ Khaled shit, but I actually make the
Ooh.
beats. But it's like all my production, and then like just have my homies on it and shit. And it's gonna. I'm trying to like make it only like 10 songs, and then have a B-side of like remixes and like instrumentals and shit.
Dope.
Kind of like how Clams did his last album.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Didn't you just work with him?
Yeah, I did.
How
It
was that?
Fucking insane. That was like my favorite producer. He's why I wanted to make beats.
Yeah.
And after I worked with him, I've been like I kind of went through like a dry spell of like making beats. Like I wasn't making that much, and I was hella like down about shit. And then I did a beat with him, and I was trying so hard to like not fan out while I was like
Yeah.
working with him. But that beat is gonna be on Zubin's next album.
Oh, dope.
cool.
What was it like working with him? Like, what was the process? Was it like, I have this sound, or I
No,
have
it was
this?
like, well, first off, he uses fucking Acid Pro to make beats. Isn't
Oh
that crazy?
wow, that's the
That's like
first
that-
music program I ever bought.
Yeah, this old ass like I don't even know if you can put MIDI in it.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
But I came
Wow.
that morning. I was like, I'm not about to show up to the studio with like nothing ready. So
Yeah.
I chopped up like a bunch of samples, like Clamsy type samples and shit and some original synthy shit. And he really loved like what I made. He was like, "This shit's fucking amazing." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, I felt like I got like an A+ on homework.
Yeah,
like,
that's sick.
I was like, okay, I fucking emulated what you do like the most. And then he took the samples and like fucked with them a little more, added some drums and like structured shit. And like since we used completely different programs, he would be on his Acid Pro and then he would export the stems and like email them to me. Because our fucking
like puzzle
hard drive.
service.
Yeah, and then like I was right next to him, and then I would fuck with shit, and then send it back, and then we did that like
really
3 times.
Though.
It was annoying, but that's how I've always like made shit, unless it's like with somebody who uses Ableton, where we can just hop on the same program or whatever. But yeah, that was tight. But yeah, I'm working on the album. It's gonna be tight. Like all the homies are on it, like Zubin, fucking Fantasy Camp, Horsehead, Smart Death, Alice Glass is on it, which will be really tight. Fucking Big Baby Scumbag,
love them.
Bunch of people.
Are all the songs
Fat,
done?
House Phone. Like at least 7 of them are done, and then and then I'm doing like an ambient project with Slug that's really tight, and then aside from that, I'm just focused on like Zubin's album and making sure like that gets out.
Is the Nedarb album gonna be put out through a label, or are you gonna do it yourself?
I don't know yet. I don't want it to be through a major label,
like
or
First
like
Access
that.
or whatever.
No, I don't think so. But
I
kind of want to
Is the
just do
Zubin
it
record
myself.
gonna be out through a label?
No idea yet. There's like no plans. I'm just trying to make everything and like package it up. And
So the things that you're working on the most right now is the Nedarb album.
Nedarb album, the Slug ambient tape, the
And the
Zubin album, and then there's a bunch of other shit I'm doing too. Like there's this kid named Lil Zelly who's really tight.
Yeah.
I'm doing a project with him.
From DMV, same as Cray, Gleesh, and Wi-Fi God, and everyone else.
Yeah, I'm kind of like swamped with shit. There's like a million other EPs too with people.
The Zelly kid's really fucking dope.
And he pumps out shit like more than like any
Yes,
rapper
yeah.
right now.
He has so many fucking tapes.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like when Lil B was dropping like hella shit all the time, or like old Lil Wayne shit, stuff like that.
Dope. Well, Ned, we love you and thank you for coming through.
Yeah,
we
of course.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And congratulations once again on the baby.
Thank you.
I hope everyone listened. Got to see more into Nedarb's life.
Ham Radio.
Hope you're happy.
Follow everyone on socials.
All
Bye.
right, peace.
What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.